Well, you guys asked for it, so let's go. Hey guys, welcome to a day in my life. And spoiler alert, there is no same day ever. Well, lucky for you, I've compiled a bunch of activities that I do throughout the week into one video because I thought it was the best way to give you a full snapshot of the ever-changing demands of my life with being a new mom, a wife, CEO, business owner, operating this multi-six-figure business. Things can get pretty crazy. P.S. Welcome to this channel, Subscribers to Sales, where we share with you all the insights on how we grew this company to multiple six figures with just organic traffic. Now, my goal in this video is to deliver tips and tricks that could help you in your day-to-day routine with efficiency, productivity, and generating more revenue. So if you're down for that, go ahead and type in the comment life hack and let's get going. But for now, I wanted to show you just a quick snapshot and agenda of what you can expect to see on today's video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with some quick life updates because it's definitely necessary. So a couple years ago, the last time I made a day in the life, morning routine or daytime routine and lifestyle video, I was pretty much single. I had no kids. I wasn't married. I was living la vida loca, just traveling the world, being a digital nomad, laptop lifestyle. It was a different picture back then. It was like me on the beach, being in my sexy bikini, just walking around. I was always able to get a full night's sleep, 8 hours, 9 hours. It was beautiful. So now basically my life is a complete 180 shift to what it was when I started traveling back in Southeast Asia, Mexico, South America. And to put things in perspective, in the past 12 months, I've gotten pregnant, which was definitely a surprise to back then my fiance, now husband. We were like, oh my goodness, pregnant with what? A baby? And my husband is Colombian, and we also were able to get his fiance 90-day visa to come to the United States. So basically we arrived to the US with his fiance visa just in time for Christmas, and it was his first time in the United States, so that's a whole story in itself, the 90-day fiance, right? So then 3 weeks after we arrived, we got married at the court. It was just a quick wedding. We weren't able to plan a wedding that we truly wanted. One day we would like to have it, but we really had that timeline and pressure with the 90-day fiance visa. And basically my whole first and second trimester of my pregnancy, I was redoing my entire business from the ground up. It's like I dug it all up and started rebuilding, and that took a ton of work. Then we had a baby shower, and then in May of 2022, my beautiful baby boy, Kai, was born. I had a 100% natural birth with my midwife at her birthing center. It was an extremely tough experience, however, beautiful, and I have no regrets. My husband then got his green card, his driver's license, and while all that was happening, my team, Marissa Romero, has also expanded. Way more on that later on in this video, but I'm just exhausted thinking about all the things that have happened within the past 12 months. People have told me recently, like, hey Marissa, like with all your life events, that's typically like 6-7 years worth. You guys did it within a matter of months. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And so a lot of people have asked me, what are your plans? Like, where are you living? Where are you going next? And the answer is US will be our home base for a while, but we definitely plan to start traveling next year and be a digital nomad family and take extended long trips, 2 to 3 months, and travel like to different places at a certain time. And we're really excited to do that. And although it was really fun, you know, doing it while I was single and having no kids, I'm thrilled to start doing it again with my family. Now, let's talk about the morning routine, shall we? So my morning routine and what happens during it is a surprise to me every single day. There is no routine. Basically, it's different. It all depends. My baby boy is currently 4 months at the making of this video, and he's been doing well, sleeping almost through the night, but there's some nights where he just does not want to sleep throughout the whole night. But there's just some nights, since he is a brand new baby, he might wake up every 3 hours, every 4 hours. So we just don't know how we're going to feel when we wake up in the morning. And so my morning routine will typically consist of just me hanging out and chilling with Kai and seeing him smile every single day. All I need to do is just take a sniff of his hair and a sip of hot coffee, which coffee is always involved in my morning routine. That is a non-negotiable, that is a must. And so one thing that does happen every single morning at some point between maybe 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. is I prep my breakfast and I make my breakfast. Sometimes, like maybe it's a Monday, I'll cook several pancakes to last me through Wednesday or through Thursday. That's kind of something I do enjoy. I really hate cooking, but I love making breakfast. And sometimes I'll just take a moment, literally a moment, not much more than that, to myself to drink my cup of coffee and just breathe. And sometimes I'll strategize with my husband. I'm like, okay, what is the plan for today? Good, you got this, I got this, blah, 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 blah. Perfect, let's do it. Another thing I'll sometimes do in the morning, depending on how crazy it is I'll check my phone and I'll check my Slack messages to check in with my team to see if I can give them some quick responses if they have any questions for me. So I'll typically include that in my morning routine as well. And you know what's funny? I look back on this video that I did about 2 years ago and I laugh now because it was this perfectly structured and groomed morning routine where I would do journaling and I would meditate and I would do breath work and just all these things. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was cute. That was real cute. That's not the case anymore. And so I think the key for me now, because a lot of people, I know I put a lot of pressure on myself to have this perfect morning routine and to, you know, make sure I did all these things that good entrepreneurs do. And it's just don't, it doesn't even matter. If you do one thing during your morning routine that makes you happy, just one, you're good. But if you want to do 2, 3, 5 things that make you feel good in your morning routine, do it. But don't feel pressured to have to read a book, go for a run, meditate, If you can't fit it in your schedule and if it stresses you out thinking about you need to have this perfect morning routine, cut it out. Just do 1, 2 things that make you happy, keep it pushing. And so all of those things typically occur before 12 p.m. So now we're shifting into the daytime routine. So 12 p.m. and later on during the day. So the daytime demands and activities vary, but they're a little bit more structured. They're the most structured thing that I have in a day in my life right now. So for sure, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Those are like for sure hours. If I can get in more hours during the week, then I will. And if I can't, that's totally okay. It's just like all those moms out there, you know that once you become a mom, your time is not yours. So if I can get in 15 solid hours of work per week, great. That's a huge accomplishment. And also, by the way, I must admit that one of the superpowers of becoming a mom is that you can get way more done in less amount of time. So more on that later on in this video. So typically on like a Wednesday, I will film for YouTube. I will try to film 2 YouTube videos in a day so I'm prepped and ahead for the next week, and there's 2 videos ready to be published on the channel. I will do my hair, get my hair ready if I have time to do my hair, but if not, I definitely do my makeup. And if you guys have noticed lately, my makeup game is like so much better than it was a few years ago. Some people are like, hey Maris, like why are you wearing so much makeup now? And honestly, I don't really consider it like a lot. I mean, yeah, it is compared to before, but I love makeup. The simple answer is I didn't realize how much I loved makeup until I had a couple makeup classes. So I enjoy it. That's one thing I like to do for myself. Get all pretty for the camera. And yeah, I think you guys like my new makeup style. Let me know in the comments. And so I normally film around 12 p.m., 1 o'clock-ish, and try to be done by 2 p.m. so that I have at least 3 more hours to work on other things. And not to mention, I'm always breastfeeding or pumping or nursing. Right now, I'm breastfeeding Kai, and that in itself is so hard. I never knew how hard breastfeeding would be, but it's a demand. It's a very, very big demand on the body, and you basically either have to nurse or pump every 3 hours throughout the day. And so sometimes, and which brings me to my next point, sometimes throughout the day, like Kai will need me, and sometimes you find me holding him while he's asleep while I'm just working on my laptop. It just depends. I can go from working on my desk undisturbed to that. And so later on during the day, some days, typically Tuesdays and Thursdays, I've started to work out with a local friend who I've hired to help me with nutrition and getting back on track and losing the baby fat, as you can say. And it's been, I've started officially my journey with, better nutrition and losing weight. So he will come over, we'll do a workout from his he has basically a mobile gym in his truck. It's fascinating. And so we've, eased into weightlifting and cardio, all of these cross-functional workouts, and I love them. It feels so good to have my full breath back and to be able to work on getting my strength back again. And the other thing that I've been doing lately is tracking my steps. So I have my Fitbit and I track my steps. And if I'm short on steps, I will definitely go for a walk in the neighborhood. Walking has been so soothing and has been great to just getting not only for exercise, but having thinking time, for clearing my head, for, being able to walk with Kai and, you know, making sure that he gets out of the house and is seeing the trees and the sky and all that great stuff. So yeah, other things that happen later on in the day, you know, sometimes we go to the beach, and I'd say 3 to 4 times out of the week we give Kai a bath at night before his bedtime routine. And so that's a good snapshot of some of the things that are involved on Monday through Friday during the day in my life. All right, so now I'd like to talk about the number one reason we crossed over $750,000 in revenue in this business with organic traffic. So now I wanted to shift gears a little bit and talk more about revenue, talk more about business, and how like everything I do in the day of my life and day-to-day activities has everything to do with the number one reason why we crossed $750,000 in revenue in this business. And I wanted to mention the number one thing that I think has, you know, allowed us to cross that number is with training and investing in myself, right? Investing in courses, mentorship, training, investing in tools, investing in things that's going to propel the business forward. And I absolutely love taking courses and things and watching classes on something that's going to help me cut my learning curve in half, or cut it, you know, in less than half the time, because that's what's going to give us speed in the goals that we're trying to accomplish. And the next thing I've attributed to is knowing when to hire, and knowing when I've reached the limit in, you know, something that I'm doing in my business, and knowing when I've had to outsource that. And that brings me to the next category in this day of the life video, and that is my income producing activities now versus back then. And so back in my old day in the life video, I mentioned, so after I take a quick shower and get dressed, about 12 o'clock is when the day starts. I'll have my post-workout meal, and that is when the work for my day begins. And typically I'll work all the way till about 8 p.m. Listen.
12 to 8 every single day. I was tripping. I don't even know what the heck I was working on.
But hey, it was during the COVID-19 pandemic when everyone was in quarantine, so I had nothing better to do than to work. But 12 to 8 every single day, I look back and I'm like, that was insane. What was I even doing during that time? And the answer was, I was doing too much, okay? So now I've learned I have to be super strategic about my time, because I don't have much of it to dedicate to my business as I did back then. So now, basically what I did, the number one hire that I've done in the past couple months this year was I hired an operations manager who has taken over the operations of my business, which has been a game changer to getting a lot of my time back. Because basically what was happening was I was spending so much time on operations, such as assigning tasks, having team meetings, trying to keep track of the performance, or not the performance, but the progress of projects, and at the same time trying to answer the demands of my team when they had different questions. I could not keep up. I was drowning in that part of the operations, and people don't understand that operations is this big thing in business, and they don't get that as a business owner, you know, you have your hands involved with every single part of the business, and operations is huge. It can get crazy. I mean, you got website projects, you have to create content, you have to be in charge of the ad campaigns, you have to be in charge of email marketing, sales copy. The list goes on and on and on. And if you eventually don't hire out somebody to do your operations, you're gonna be working a whole lot of hours for a very long time. And so I knew that my goal was to get to a point in my business where I was only working in my zone of genius, meaning I'm only creating content, I'm only creating YouTube videos and, you know, real content and short form content. I'm only working on the things that I enjoy, and I'm working on the things that I'm really good at, so I can focus and hone in on my zone of genius and double down on those things, so I could be the leader and the visionary of this company and not be not have my hands in every single thing, so I could just focus on the real income producing activities that I know now are the most important thing. And so, by the way, if you guys are interested in joining our email list and learning more about YouTube and creating a profitable YouTube channel for your business with YouTube, go ahead and download our Subscribers to Sales Blueprint right up here, or the first link in the description. There's tons of great resources along with the blueprint. You won't regret it, trust me. All right, so one of the things that I mentioned in the intro was the expansion of Team Marissa Romero was a huge thing that has happened in the past 6 months. So allow me to please introduce you to Team Marissa Romero. And I wanted to start with our operations manager. Her name is Elizabeth, and as I mentioned, she's in charge of everything when it comes to helping me with launch strategy, helping manage the team, with helping with performance reviews, KPIs, evaluating the webinar funnel, just all types of things. So there's Elizabeth, and we also then have Dawn. Dawn is our YouTube coach, and she's basically in charge of community management inside our Subscribers to Sales Facebook group. She helps with the coaching calls every single month, and she's also the YouTube manager for this channel. So she wears a lot of great, amazing hats. Then we have Roger and Tanya, who is doing the amazing editing, yay, of this video, and they're in charge of editing all my videos for this channel, and also they're the chief editors of the Subscribers to Sales Studio. So if you become a member of our Subscribers to Sales program, which teaches you how to build a profitable YouTube channel, you get access to the studio. So they are in charge of their own editors within the studio. It's really amazing. Shout out to them. And we also just recently hired a virtual assistant who is currently in the 30-day trial period. We typically do that when we hire somebody. We give a 30-day trial period to see like how we get along, how we like each other, and if it works out, this person will continue to stay on the team for the long term. All right, and some other people that are on the team that are temporary contractors, meaning they're hired on a project basis, so they're not working on the team all year round. They're just helping out with maybe launch or whatever the case may be. And so for funnels and automations, we have a girl named Aisha. She's amazing. She's helped with putting together funnels for Kartra, and also just putting technical things and making sure everything's functioning on the back end. And then we have Maria, who is in charge of everything website design, website programming on the marisaromero.com website. And we recently hired Daria, who is fully in charge of Facebook ads and our new paid advertising campaign. So yay, I'm so excited. And so it's a team that's small, but also very mighty. And I'm so proud, and I love my team because when I took maternity leave, they held it down. I was very, very happy that the business was able to run without me being there. And it was amazing, and I'm super grateful for Team Marissa Romero. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're still here, why don't you join me in the video coming up next, all about how you can create a cash flowing YouTube channel from video 1. That video coming up right here, just click, and I'll see you guys on that video. So you want to start a YouTube channel, but you want all of your hard work to start paying off as soon as possible. You want to start to monetize it because, let's be real, YouTubing is difficult.